Hey guys, this is Miriam at High Life Auto. I am out doing a video test drive on a 2006 Ford Escape. If you've never been on my video test drives before, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic and this is not meant to be a 182-point inspection. Rather, this is meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we go along. So, we'll take a look around the vehicle, I'll tell you a little story, and then we'll go for a drive. So, first thing, we drove this one home, my son drove this one home from La Harpe. So that's 35 minutes, so it does drive. Second thing, we bought this vehicle. We bought it from a dealer friend of ours, and Matt had gone and test driven it, and it ran and drove pretty nice. It's a little bit rough on the body, but it ran and drove pretty nice. So we committed to buying it. A week later, 2 weeks later, when we actually... when all the paperwork finally settled, we got a call like, well, the guy hit a deer. So, now we have what we have, and it's a little bit rougher. Good news for you is that means that it's cheap. Because we had committed to it prior to, and it is a little bit damaged, but the good news is that when Matt drove it just a week or 2 weeks prior, it was pretty decent. And the second thing is it did drive home from La Harpe, so it's got some props. Other than that, we'll look at everything else and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so it's a 2006 Ford Escape. I'm gonna pull down this window and shut this door. It is a really pretty orange color, like it's, imagine it without that front end damage, and it was, night and day better. It does have the rust over the rear wheel wells, and Ford Escapes are notorious for rusting right underneath here. And so Ford makes a, right in there you can see it, on that whatever that wheel well is. I'll check the other side as well. But Ford knows that it's a problem, and so they make a replacement. Under here there is a metal wheel well, and Ford makes a replacement metal wheel well that you just tack weld in there, and it goes right over the top of the other one, so that when this one rusts out, you've got that backup one installed there. This side doesn't look as bad. Like it might be starting, but it's not as bad. I don't think it's got the strut noise yet, but I haven't driven this. I haven't personally been in this yet, except to drive it over to this lot. So we'll find out everything as we're going. But I do think it's got pretty dang good tires on it. I think it's like about 65% all the way around. And other than, that rust over the rear wheel well and then this front part, it's really not bad looking. And so that is where I've got a potential other. Like I've got another Escape that has some work that needs done on like the cat and all of that stuff. So you could get both of these and mix and match your body and all of that and make it a decent looking vehicle again. But so yeah, here's where we're at. So you've got all this that needs some work. It looks like probably not something you can drive at night because it looks like these lights are broken, and all of this is in the back seat. But obviously it doesn't work. So needs a little bit of work. That hood does stay down. Like I said, they drove it home from La Harpe. It looks like we might get a little bit of tire rubbing right there. Maybe not, but it might rub on the tire a little bit. So we're gonna find out because I don't have any idea. Good news is it did start right up. Like didn't have to jump it, didn't have to do anything. So we're gonna go and see what we've got. So we do have a check engine light on there. Cylinder 1 misfire, O2 sensors, signal stuck lean. So really just cylinder 1 misfire and the O2 sensor. And that cylinder 1 was not misfiring before this accident. And so I don't know if something got knocked out. I don't know if I really just don't have any idea. So if you kind of take that into account, We've got 247,000 miles on here. Airbag light, ABS light. I don't know if those were on prior to the accident, but we'll just kind of see what we've got. We've got a radio that, if I knew how to turn it on, the radio at least has volume, and so the radio works. Okay, I've got heat. I'll turn it on. Gotta wait for the car to really warm up to really get a good indication of that. But you saw my driver's window worked. My passenger window works. My rear passenger window works. And my rear driver's side window works. And I don't think I showed you the interior, but like even the interior of this is pretty good condition. I mean, it's clean. Looks pretty decent. And so there's that. This one is the four-wheel drive one. And I noticed that my four-wheel drive light kind of came on and went off once or twice while I was there. So four-wheel drive, something might have been damaged in there, or just a sensor or something. I'm not certain. I haven't had that light come back on yet, but with Escapes, the four-wheel drive feature is not something you typically lock in. It's just it's more of an all-wheel drive. It's just kind of, it's there all the time. So we're gonna go for a drive. Exhaust is a little bit louder, not super obnoxious. See, there's my, oh, well, now it's off again. Every once in a while, there's a four-wheel drive light right here that just kind of flashes on and off. And so maybe it's the four-wheel drive engaging, or maybe it's the four-wheel drive trying to engage and it can't engage, or I don't know. There's going to be a lot of that in this video, of the I don't knows. Just because I don't know what was caused by the accident. It's actually not driving bad. Like, it feels like there's a little bit of body vibration, and that may not make a whole lot of sense to you until you're in the driver's seat, because I don't even really know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like, I think that hood is latched, believe it or not. It did just kind of like pop up, so that would be something like, so I'm probably not going to go up to 55 just because I don't want that flopping up on me, although it didn't on the way home from La Harpe, but that's my seatbelt alarm. But it doesn't feel like a misfire vibration. It feels kind of more like an exhaust vibration, kind of like underneath me rather than in front of me, which may not make sense. And again, if none of this makes sense to you, this is probably not a great vehicle for you, to be honest. This is a project vehicle. It's not something you should get in and drive to Iowa City, today, tomorrow, whatever. It's something that you should put a little bit of work into, and then have it so that you're able to rely on it. But it does have a good upside. Like, there's my four-wheel drive light, if you can see that. It does have a good upside because it's cheap, and with an investment into it, you could make it a decent vehicle, and you'd have it for way under its value. Brakes are really good. Like, before the accident, I think the guy was driving it routinely. It looks like he maintained it as far as, like, it's got good tires on it. Those brakes are really good. That left turn signal light, obviously you can see it's blinking fast. The right one is blinking slow. So obviously your left turn signal light needs some work. But I mean, obviously you can see that. So a lot of this is common sense, obvious stuff. The heat works. Yeah, so this is just a really basic video, just so that you kind of have an idea on how this thing runs, and so you're kind of prepared for whatever repairs you need to make. So if you have any questions, you can shoot them at me. I don't honestly know if I'll be able to answer them, but my cell phone is 309-267-7200. Thanks, guys.